So today we're going to do heart fajitas. In my opinion, heart is the best cut of meat for fajitas. It's just got a great texture, it's got a great taste, and it's really what I prefer. This is a bison heart. It's not a whole heart. It's only 1 pound. A whole heart, a whole bison heart, I think is 3 or 4 pounds. So you can see a lot of it's been trimmed already, but we're going to go through and get rid of any of this little connective tissue or some of these pieces that you see here, the more fibrous pieces, and we're just going to trim those off. If you get a whole heart, there's a lot more trimming to do. I've trimmed venison hearts, and it's a little bit intimidating, but there's a lot of good resources on, YouTube or wherever you want. And like I said, it's intimidating, but in the end, it's hard to mess up. So once we get rid of these tissues, this is what we have. And we're going to take these and put them in a dish. I'm going to wash my hands quick. We're going to put in some homemade taco seasoning. Sprinkle a little bit of that on top. A little bit of soy sauce. And then we're going to throw in some water. Get it mixed up. Now obviously here I don't have the entire piece of meat submerged, so we're going to make sure to flip it 2 or 3 times while it's marinating. But we're now going to take this, cover it with tin foil, and let it marinate for 12 to 24 hours, I would say. Our heart has been marinating for about 24 hours now. So I'm going to start making the tortillas and getting everything ready to cook. We've got our tortilla dough here. All this is masa, harina, salt, and water. Really simple, 3 ingredients. Make it per the instructions. The size of your tortilla is up to you, but I like to make the dough into balls about the size of a golf ball. Put it on parchment paper. I do not have a tortilla press, but any large flat surface like a cast iron pan will do. Apply a little bit of pressure. And then we're going to carefully remove our tortilla. So now that we've got our tortillas pressed, they're ready to be cooked. I've got our pan going at medium high. And we're just going to throw a couple in there. I started making my own tortillas not too long ago. It's a pretty easy process. It takes a little bit more time, but it's a lot cheaper. And I've found that if you look at the ingredient list in your typical store-bought flour tortilla, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't need to be in there. So making your own tortillas is a good way to mitigate that. They're a lot thicker, not quite as big as what you're going to find in the store. And I'll admit that I didn't like them as much at first, but I've grown to like them more. So we're going to throw them in. We know they're ready to flip when you can kind of move them like this. When you first put them on, they're going to stick a little bit, but once you can move them and wiggle them a little bit, then we know they're ready to flip. And that same premise is going to be true on the other side. You're going to let them cook for just a minute, but the second side seems to go a little bit faster. This one's still sticking a little bit. We're going to leave that one, but these two are ready to go. So then we're just going to take them. I throw them in an extra pie tin. I've got the oven set to warm, and once we're done cooking them all, we're just going to throw them in the oven to keep them warm. Still got the cast iron going. I turned down the heat to medium low, threw in a little bit of bison tallow, and we're going to get our veggies going. What I've got here is just your standard fajita veggies. I've got onions. I like to get the onions going first, get them cooked up a little bit. Then I've got red and yellow bell peppers. Again, we've got our veggies on a medium low. We don't want them to burn while we're not paying attention to them. Personally, I like my fajita veggies to be a little bit charred, but we don't want them burnt. So now we're going to take and slice our heart nice and thin, just like we would for any other kind of fajita meat. You can see we've got some nice penetration of the marinade. The center is nice and pink, but that outside is taking the brown color. Now that we've got the veggies cooked to our liking, we're going to add the meat. I pushed all the veggies off to the side. I've turned it up to high. And we want to be careful when we do this. We don't want to overcook the meat. We just want to hit it quick on both sides, get it done, and then pull it off. And I like to throw it on top of the veggies. So for that reason, I like to use tongs. We just lay it down, fit as many pieces as we can, and then work our way back, flip them, and go again. Next, we're just going to throw it all together. I've got it dressed up. Got a little bit of jalapenos and some homemade salsa verde to put on top. And we have a meal made out of a cut that most people tend to shy away from. Again, it's a little bit intimidating. It's something new that most people aren't used to eating. But we can make a delicious meal that everybody's going to enjoy.